everybody, it's Catherine from Jayne Catherine on Books and welcome to Victober. So every year in October a lovely group of booktubers put together a challenged readathon where you have to read all books Victorian in the month of October, and also they've set some challenges. So if you want to know all about it, go over to Kate Howe's channel, and all the other hosts will be on her channel and a bit more about it. So this year I'm not going to participate in the actual challenges for it, but I am going to read Victorian books. So I thought today I'd just show you my TBR, and then another four, five, six recommendations of Victorian books that you might want to put on your own TBRs. So without further ado, let's get cracking. So this has been on my shelf for a while, and it's Victoria by Daisy Goodwin. Now, how can you have a Victober without something to do with Queen Victoria? Victorian period is a favourite of mine in British history, and when I was a girl we used to go to the Isle of Wight quite a lot, and I have fond memories of going to visit Osborne House on the Isle of Wight, and that was the holiday residence of Queen Victoria and Albert and all their children. Fantastic place to go and visit. There's even like a mini house in the garden for the children to play in, and all sorts of beautiful treasures in the house. So yeah, well worth a visit if you're able to, so if you're in the UK or coming to visit the UK. So I've not read this. They have made a television series of this, but I haven't seen that either. I don't like to watch television series until I've read the book. So it's been on my shelf for a while, and yeah, this takes place from the beginning of her reign when she was only 18 years old in 1837. So looking forward to that. Now look at this chunky book. Oh goodness me, this is why I've only got a few on my TBR. This is The Crimson Petal and the White by Michel Faber. Apparently this has been made into a TV drama as well. I've not come across that on the television either. So yes, this is well documented on BookTube. I think this is one of the favourites of Jen Campbell. So I found this in a charity shop. I don't really know much about it. I just know that it's historical fiction set in Victoriana. So yeah, I think that's going to take me all month to get that done. Thickness of that. Then I want to read book 2 in the Gideon Smith steampunk series. I read book 1, which is Gideon Smith and the Mechanical Girl. Wasn't expecting to love it, but I did. It was just great. I've not really read anything to do with steampunk before, and it was just so much fun. So this is book 2, and yeah, it says a ripping yarn, colourful collusion of steampunk, science fiction and alternative history. Discover it for yourself, preferably by torchlight under the bedclothes. Ooh. So looking forward to that. It says 19th century London is the centre of vast British empire. A teeming metropolis where steam power is king and airships ply the skies, and where Queen Victoria presides over 3/4 of the known world. Ah, good old Queen Victoria, that's what I say. And then finally, the final book for my TBR for Victorian reads is Tipping the Velvet by Sarah Waters. This is a reread for me. I've read all Sarah Waters books, I really love them, and yeah, it'd be nice to reread this one. And this is a saucy, sensuous and multi-layered historical romance. Tipping the Velvet follows the glittering career of Nanking, oyster girl turned music hall star, turned rent boy, turned East End Tom. Yeah, I think that's going to be a bit saucy, shall we say, and yeah, there might be some a bit language that's a bit near the bone, shall we say, but Sarah Waters, she's an excellent writer, and yeah, I'm looking forward to trying that again and seeing a different side to Victorian life. Perhaps you know, the sleazy side of Victorian life compared to, you know, the upper echelons and how they lived. So they're the ones that's on my TBR. Sorry, I'm bending down because they're falling over. So I'll just give you a few recommendations, and I've got a few classics here. North and South by Elizabeth Gaskell. Now, if you want to pick up anything in the Victorian period, Elizabeth Gaskell is a firm favourite, and certainly Kate Howe has got a plethora of information on Kate Gaskell. I think she's one of her favourite authors. So yeah, go and check out any recommendations that she makes. But this is the one that that I've got on my shelves. The next one is a non-fiction. I thought you really couldn't have some Victorian recommendations without a non-fiction. And this is called Take Courage. And this is Anne Bronte and the Life of Art by Samantha Ellis. And I love the Brontes. You know, it's a family that I'm very interested in. And yeah, been to see the parsonage. And yeah, this looks a really interesting book. Anne Bronte is the forgotten Bronte sister, overshadowed by her older siblings, virtuous, successful Charlotte, free-spirited Emily, and dissolute Bramwell, tragic, virginal, sweet, stoic, selfish, selfless Anne, the less talented Bronte, the other Bronte. So, looking forward to reading that. That'll be, I don't know too much really about Anne Bronte, so that's Take Courage. That should be a nice suggestion for you if you want something non-fiction. My all-time favourite, good old Jayne Eyre. Love Jayne Eyre, one of my favourites. This is a lovely copy. It's got deckled edges. It's what you can see, look, well thumbed. Yeah, you can't go wrong with Jayne Eyre. Really love Jayne Eyre. And then we've got Emily Bronte's Wuthering Heights. And this is a lovely copy as well. If you see, it's just a naked hardback, but it's got really lovely, what's the word I want to say when it's like embossed, sort of embossed on the cover. But the other thing is with this, it's lovely because it's got a little pull out, like a little pamphlet, little newsletter type pamphlet that's inside this. Not read Wuthering Heights since I did it at high school. So yeah, I've got it on my shelf. I don't think I'll get round to these this year with those other four, but yeah, that's two recommendations for two Brontes. And then finally, the final two, something a bit newer, but set in the era. The Mangle Street Murders. This is a series by M.R.C. Kasasian, and I've read the first. Yes, I've just read this one, but David's read. He's continuing with the series, and yeah, I will when I've got time. So it says London, 1882. Queen Victoria may sit on the throne, and Robert Peel's bobbies walk the streets, but this is a London still haunted by the spectre. The Spectre, or do you say Spectre? Spectre. I should know that. That's a James Bond title. Walk the streets, but this is the London still haunted by the spectre of spring-heeled Jack. The demons of vice and poverty rule the capital. Really good. Bit grisly though. You need to know it's a bit grisly. But if, yeah, if you want some historical crime fiction, that's great. And then the other one that I'd like to recommend. This is just one of the series. This is book one in the Graham McFay. Yeah, it is Graham McFay. No, it's Frey and McGray. Oscar de Muriel will kill me. Who's got it wrong way around? Oscar de Muriel, The Strings of Murder. And yeah, this is book one. He's got 4 out now. Book 1, book 4, particular favourites of mine, so go and check those out. Yeah, it was get the wrong way round. I love the characters of those two. Even though I get the names the wrong way round, I love the characters. So, there's a few recommendations. There's my TBR for Victober. Let me know what you're planning to read. If there's anything on there you're going to add to your own TBR, and I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.